Commander of US Central Command, General David Petraeus, says the insurgency in Afghanistan can be beaten using similar methods proved in Iraq. He told the BBC that one of the keys to success lay in separating the hardcore elements of the Taliban from the rest of the population. General Petraeus said it was heartening to see the pledges that NATO member states had already made to Afghanistan. Let's go live to Washington, D.C. now and talk to Ashraf Haidari, the political counselor at the Afghan embassy in Washington. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Now, first of all, what's your reaction to this news?
Well, definitely, I agree with General Petraeus that there are always tactics that we can learn from other situations and, of course, make them context specific. We have also heard General Petraeus talking about the differences between Iraq and Afghanistan, and the general knows our country very well, and we understand that applying those lessons in Afghanistan would have to be context specific based on the local conditions in Afghanistan. So we welcome any lessons from other post-conflict or complex situations like Afghanistan in the past, as long as those lessons and tactics meet the specific security needs of Afghanistan, especially in the fight against the Taliban.
But you talked about the lessons learned, but the actual conditions are much more different in Afghanistan, obviously.
That's correct, and that's what General Petraeus has also discussed in the past. I've personally discussed this with him and heard him saying that, of course, Iraq and Afghanistan are two different countries. In Afghanistan, of course, the Taliban lack popular support, that Afghanistan doesn't have a sectarian problem, and that, of course, the Taliban insurgency is maintained outside our border, across our borders and Pakistan, where we need to focus on fighting the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, close down their safe sanctuaries, and also specifically target the leadership of the Taliban and Al-Qaeda where they are hiding.
How will the people, the population in Afghanistan actually welcome this sort of move?
Well, the Afghan people welcome any cooperation from our international allies to fight the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, who have no place in Afghanistan. We have been victims of the insurgency, victims of the Taliban and Al-Qaeda terrorism for a long time. The Afghan people basically demand security, governance and rule of law, and job opportunities. And they're fully on our side, and it's very clear from recent polls by the Asia Foundation that Afghan people overwhelmingly support international presence, performance of the Afghan government, our security forces, both the police and the national army. So the people are on our side. So it depends on us how we move forward together to fight the Taliban and Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, and of course in the region, particularly in Pakistan, where the leadership of the Taliban are hiding. And with General Petraeus at the Manama Dialogue Security Conference specifically mentioned that we need to also focus on the strategic targets. That's the leadership of the Taliban across the border in Pakistan.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us.
Police have detained 200 protesters during a demonstration this afternoon in Copenhagen. Many were held near the city's port. Yesterday, almost 1,000 people were taken into custody after climate change demonstrations. Environment ministers